Riding a bicycle 4,500 kilometers up Africa, it's going to be a life-changing experience. And that it was for myself and my wife when we did that in 2016. My online store at the time was just looking after itself, it was crushing it, and it gave us the flexibility and the time to be able to raise money for the Quebec charity by riding single-speed bicycles all the way from Johannesburg up to Kilimanjaro. And it was on that expedition where the name Insaka came from and the inspiration for what we've created with the Insaka e-commerce academy. And although there are so many life-changing experiences and stories that I would love to share with you, and hopefully we get the time for this, I just wanted to share the story of Insaka and how it came about. Because as we rode further and further north, from Joburg up into Botswana, into Zambia, into Malawi and Tanzania, the further north we got and the more rural it became, we noticed and we appreciated how friendly people became. Most of the time, if we could, or if there wasn't any civilization around, we would just sleep in the bushes and look after ourselves. But when we cycled past a community and we needed somewhere to sleep, we would reach out to them and ask if we could set up our tents on the school field or outside the clinic or something like that. But what became apparent was that what we learned was that in these communities, it was an honor and a privilege for them to have guests. So they welcomed us in with open arms. Often the chief would come and meet me, shake my hand, and we'd try and find the English teacher who could hopefully translate a little bit in the village for us, and we would ask if we could stay. And when they gave us permission to stay, they didn't just allow us to sleep on the school field or outside the clinic. They would welcome us in to the center of the village, to the community. And in the center of the village, there was an open-sided thatch, a gazebo, which had so much symbolism for them. This was the place where they would come together as a community to talk about helping one another, to help children that are in need, or to help struggling families. And this was a pivotal point and such an important place of symbolism for them as a community where they can help one another. And that open-sided thatch, that gazebo in the middle of the village, or sometimes it was referred to as a katenga, but most of the time it was referred to as an Insaka. And we were given the privilege of sleeping under the Insaka village after village. And as we left one village and cycled north, we would just hope we could find another village. And yes, they would welcome us in and let us set ourselves up. And with a little bit that they had, they would still come and offer us food and give us clean water. And we would try and return the favor by leaving some old clothes or some tins of food or some money if we could. And it was just so heartwarming. And it gives me goosebumps to remember this, about how they looked after us. But more importantly, about how they valued one another, how they helped one another, how this pivotal point, the Insaka, was the center of their community, and how it was a place where they would help one another. And that was what I wanted to create for the e-commerce community in South Africa. A point where we can come together and help one another in a helpful community where we can work together to help rise all ships, because this tide is rising, and a rising tide, it raises all ships. And our community is doing that already. I love what our community has come. And of course, here at the Insaka Academy, we are giving training, resources, mentorship, and support to help everybody to be able to have more success online in this industry, which is just thriving and booming. So if you are new to Insaka, then please do browse our website, insaka.coza. Go and see the library of free resources that we have available to you, and the courses and all the extra training that we have available for you to be able to take part in this thriving industry that is the e-commerce market of South Africa. Join our Insaka. Let's do this together. This is the center point of our community, and we can work together to make sure that we are all more successful.